Hello, everybody. Welcome to day 5 of our time together during this sequestering or quarantine. And I'm here today to play yet another song for you. One of my friends wrote me yesterday and said that he thought I should use the name Quarantunes for what I'm doing here, which I thought was hilarious. Lynn didn't know that that was the right choice for what I'm doing, but I thought it was great. So whatever you call it, hymn song or quarantune or whatever, I'm glad to do it. I'm glad to be with you. I'm thankful that you're willing to spend a few minutes with me each day during this time. And today, it's not going to be something that's going to make you feel warm and fuzzy about because of, you won't be able to say, oh, I remember when my mother sang that or when my grandma sang it, because nobody's ever sung what I'm going to play today. Because I wrote it about 9 years ago, but it's not something to be sung. I wrote it as a piano piece. It's kind of personal study on my part as a composition. And I'm going to be music professor here for just a couple minutes. But I'm playing it for you today for a reason, not just to show off something that I wrote a few years ago. For one thing, it's not that spectacular of a piece, but it, I think, demonstrates the point I'm trying to make today. And I hope that it will be something that I can leave with you and help you to consider. Maybe even go back and play this again and listen to it from a perspective I'm going to talk about. Anyway, what I'm going to play is a piece that I wrote called Chesed, blessing. Now, the Hebrew word chesed, and I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, but I think I am, is generally interpreted compassion or loving kindness. Now, that's what I've been told. I didn't study Hebrew, so I don't know that for a fact, but I've heard that word a lot over the years, so I know it's a good word, and I know that it brings good feelings to people who understand the Hebrew language. So we're going to work on the assumption that it is a good word and that it's about good things. The subtitle is A Prayer for Love, Harmony, and Peace in the manner of a chaconne. Now you think, what the world is a chaconne? Wake up back there in the corner. A chaconne is a form that was very popular in the days of Johann Sebastian Bach and other Baroque composers, and before him as well, because it's a type of theme and variation. Now, you've all heard that term, I'm sure. Taking a simple little thematic idea and then embellishing it with some different variations. Well, the catch to a chaconne is that it's not a melody that's being varied, it's a harmonic pattern that's repeated again and again and again. If you know me very well, you know I don't have real great respect for a piece that a lot of people love, and if you love it, I apologize. But the Pachelbel canon in D, now that's a type of chaconne because it's a repeated harmonic pattern over which you hear this melody that's embellished and varied a lot, but unfortunately I don't think it's embellished enough because it gets kind of boring after a while. But that's my prejudice against the Pachelbel. You may love it, and if you do, I apologize for offending you. But this is a chaconne, and it shares that in common with Mr. Pachelbel's work. So you may say, why in the world are you spending my valuable time talking about something I don't care a bit about? I don't understand it in the first place, so why would you do this to us? Well, let me explain. A chaconne is that repeated passage over and over again. It's a harmonic passage. And the challenge to a composer writing one is you've got this thing happening again and again and again, and you have to put on top of that something that is different and unique and varied and hopefully beautiful, so that the repeated stuff doesn't drive you to distraction. And you can rise above that and find beauty coexisting with the repeated stuff. And that's where we are right now in this time of self-quarantining. We're doing the same thing in the same place, day after day after day. And we have to, as individuals, millions of us, have to come up with ways of creatively dealing with that situation so that we don't go bonkers. And I encourage you, to the fullest of my ability, to please not be depressed, not be discouraged, but find ways to make this situation a beautiful situation. Sure, it's got the negatives. Sure, we're all hunkered down, doing our thing in a confined space, but there are ways to make it work and to make it work beautifully, and that's what I encourage you to do. So as you listen to this chaconne, you're going to hear a pattern repeated many times in the course of 3 minutes. It goes like this. This is the pattern in the left hand. That's it. 4 measures of that pattern. Now, that could easily become boring and monotonous, and hopefully I have transcended that somehow by putting something with it that makes it bearable and not so boring. And that's what we have to do in our time with ourselves, with our families, stuck in a place. So I encourage you, as you listen to this and you hear that repeated pattern over and over again, try not to listen to the pattern so much as what's happening above the pattern, and apply that principle to your situation at home, wherever you are. I hope this isn't too esoteric and boring and confusing and academic. Hope it makes a point that we can all relate to, and I promise you tomorrow I'll play something that you do know and that you do have some feelings about. But right now, bear with me, and may this Chesed blessing be a blessing to you. Have a blessed day, everybody. See you tomorrow.